Okay, you all, this is it. This is time. It is finals where we are taking on the one, the only Mounte, who has not lost a game this entire season. We are definitely coming in as the underdogs, especially given our track record versus him. I have been battling Mounte in Draft League format since like 2021, since back in Gen 8, and I played him 4 times in official matches, and I've lost all 4 times, including losing to him week 8 in the regular season, and we've never played him in a playoff game. It's always been a regular season game, so here we are in finals against him, and I'm scared. I'm genuinely really nervous. I'm just hoping it's a good one. I'm hoping it's good finals. At the same time, I need to be able to separate the reality of that I've come close every single time I played him, and I've been in it every single time, and just 1 or 2 little things have gone wrong that I could easily correct for. So as long as I do that, this ship can be ours, and I'm ready to do it. Like, I think I've crafted the team that can win this thing, and I feel good. So let's do it. Okay, so before we get into the team builder, let's take a look at what he brought last time and what I brought last time. Very tough matchup. I think we both have like really strong bonds, obviously. Ultimately, he forwent the Sneasler and the Rillaboom last time and opted for a little bit more balanced team using Galvantula as an early game breaker, Ursaluna as a mid game breaker, Mesprit and Blastoise as defensive Rocky Helmet pivots, and then Spectrier as, a cleaner / breaker. It ended up being the case that Spectrier was the breaker and Ursaluna was the cleaner, but really, generally speaking, he used Mesprit and Blastoise as the defensive pivots around these 4 offensive pieces, and Spectrier, Chi-Yu, Galvantula, and Ursaluna. I don't think he'll do it again. I think he is likely to bring Sneasler this time. I think it's possible that could be paired with Rillaboom. I think it's also possible that Diancie comes this game, although I think it's a little bit less likely. I think the mons that are 100% coming again really are probably just Mesprit, Ursaluna, and maybe Spectrier. I want to say Spectrier just because it's a Spectrier, but you never know. I think ultimately Spectrier did so well against me last time that he knows I'm going to be very well prepared for it this time, so he's going to bring a different set than whatever this is. So whether that's like Foul Play, or whether it's Pain Split with like Will-O-Wisp Hex or something that's like dedicated to taking on the Ursaluna a little bit better, the Ursa Ring a little bit better. Who knows? It could be. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be this Spectrier set, but I think he's going to come prepared knowing that I'm going to be more prepared for Spectrier. Whether that means he brings it or doesn't bring it, I don't know. But everyone's been bringing it against me in mock, so it's a Spectrier, so I can only assume so. Chi-Yu, he brought with Chople. I don't think it'll be Chople again. I think it's possible Chi-Yu's benched this time to make room for Sneasler Rillaboom. We'll see. Galvantula, I think, could come again. He could bring webs this time, but I was so well prepared for it last time, and I brought Rapid Spin with Serena. So he could be disincentivized, but still offensively, Terra Ice Galvantula looks kind of insane. He made a big note of that in his team builder, so it could come. And then Mesprit, also very, very good with Rocky Helmet, paired with Blastoise, like again, sort of fat, slow pivots, and to chip down Zama, which is really solid. I think one of these helmet users comes at minimum. I think both could come again, but I think he brings at least 1 helmet on either a Mesprit or Blastoise, or potentially both again. I think these are 2 really good defensive pivots to my team that take on my top 3 quite well. So I think one of those comes again. And then Ursaluna is just cracked. Like, I just can't switch into this thing. He could run Trick Room with Mesprit to bring in Ursaluna, or he could try, like, Spread Paralysis again. I don't know. But Ursaluna is very scary, so that's another thing. So my guess is, if I had to guess right before playing this match, I think he benches Chi-Yu, and he might bench Galvantula, but I'm very scared of Galvantula nonetheless. And I think those 2 get replaced with Sneasler Rillaboom, because I think Sneasler Rillaboom probably comes. I could see him forgo one of Mesprit Blastoise for Diancie, and I could see a bizarre universe where Spectrier doesn't come, but I want to say that's not super likely. I think, ultimately, really any of these 9 below me could come, and we have to be mindful of all of them in general, because his team is so good for a reason. It's because he has so many different modes to play with, so we're going to try and account for as many of them as possible. In terms of what we brought last time, we brought some pretty interesting stuff. We didn't bring the Ursa Ring, again, just to see if I'm able to beat his team without it, because I don't really like Ursa Ring. I haven't been enjoying it this season. And then we didn't bring the Quillfish, which intuitively would be a really good answer to the Sneasler. And that was kind of intentional, is I wanted to not bring what I thought was the best Sneasler answer and see just like if it would incentivize him to bring a different set with it in finals. And then he didn't actually even end up bringing the Sneasler in week 8 in the first place. So I don't really know how that's going to affect his mentality in general, but I thought Quillfish actually looked quite good in this matchup. I just didn't bring it because I didn't want to reveal that I thought it looked quite good in this matchup. So in terms of the mons that we brought last time, we brought like the Meteor Beam Deoxys. That was meant to like hit through Chi-Yu, which makes me think that he's not going to do the Choppleberry thing again because he's now aware that I could be Meteor Beam instead. I brought the AV Greninja, which is really effective at taking on Chi-Yu plus Spectrier, so I think it's a very viable thing that he could very well consider I bring again. This Zamazenta just spams dual stab. I don't think I'm going to switch it up very much. I don't think he's going to expect much of a switch up from this. This, like I mentioned, was a thing that I just kept in back for things like Shell Smash Blastoise. So hopefully the implication of this is that he won't try and win with Shell Smash Blastoise, since I just had this in the back to deal with it no matter what. And like that would hopefully dissuade him from making Shell Smash Blastoise his win con. So we'll see. But ultimately the Dragonite in the back is very nice. But I think the fact that I've shown it as a late game mon means that I can bring it as an early game mon this time around. We'll see though. And then these two mons I brought, I kind of didn't know if I would bring them in finals. Like, I think it was pretty clear I wouldn't be bringing Serena if I played Dante in finals, but I think Tinkaton's a little bit more of a toss-up. But again, this sort of like just tells him that I'm willing to bring Brox into his team. So those are the implications of the team that I brought. Let's get into what I'm actually bringing here. So this is the Deoxys Speed that I'm bringing this game. It is a physically offensive Deoxys Speed for the most part. We're running a ton of speed to outspeed Chi-Yu. Now, the last time I brought Deoxys Speed into week 8, I only outsped Modest Scarf Chi-Yu. He has been very good at calling me out on aggressive speed creeps. I'm not going to fall for that again. If he wants to try and like outspeed the Deoxys that I ran last time with Scarf Chi-Yu, I'll outspeed every single form of Choice Scarf Chi-Yu with this thing. That's basically it. So yeah, I also outspeed a paralyzed +4 Shell Smash Blastoise. So if Blastoise Shell Smashes in front of tries to Shell Smash in front of Ursaring, which spoiler alert has Body Slam, I can fish twice for Body Slam paras, and then Dio outspeeds it, which is cool. Otherwise, the rest is in attack. The rest is in special attack, I think. Knockoff is really good. It stops Spectrier. Is my best way to revenge Spectrier if it's not Choice Scarf, and he can't be Salic Berry with Endure. He can't be Custep Berry with Endure, because I'll knock it off. And then Psycho Boost Superpower hits everything else. Superpower absolutely nukes the Chi-Yu. It does a ton of damage to Ursaluna. And then Psycho Boost does a ton of damage to everything else. Extreme Speed is really nice here. It's just extra priority against Unbird and Sneasler. It's extra priority to, you know, do a little extra to Rillaboom if I'm about to die to Grassy Glide. Has a ton of like nice utility here that I just didn't see another move being better for. So that's why we're running this Dio. This Gren is hopefully going to take us to the championship. I think this Gren goes crazy here, and I very intentionally did not bring Battle Bond last time to try and like get him to think that I'm going to be sort of using Greninja as like a defensive / spikes piece based on how I played it last time. I don't want to do that at all. I think that Battle Bond looks great. The only thing that stops Battle Bond is Grassy Glide from Rillaboom, which he didn't even bring last time. So if I brought Greninja last time, I think Greninja went crazy last time, but he didn't bring Rillaboom. I think this time he will. I think this time he's definitely going to bring Rillaboom. I just have this gut feeling about it. And I want to be prepared. And I still want to run the Battle Bond set, but it means I have to run Rindo Berry to count for Grassy Glide. And I want to say that he's not going to do too much prep for Battle Bond Greninja, knowing that he could just glide it, you know? So if I can catch him off guard with the Rindo Berry, then I could be in a really, really good spot. Ultimately, it necessitates that I get a little bit of chip on Rillaboom early, so it's in range of a +1 Ice Beam, especially if it's an Assault Vest set, which it very well might be. And then he brought a specially defensive Blastoise as well. So what I want to do is I want to be using Zamazenta to force out the Blastoise, break down the Blastoise, and then Greninja, you know, can take it out with a +1 hit. Then everything else takes a ton of damage. Since Mass Break, contrary to what I thought last time, isn't Terra Fairy, Dark Pulse is quite free on it. So Surf, although Surf was in the first place, But it just means that there's no stab, fairy, like draining kiss that could be clicked against me as well, which is nice. So ultimately, the bulk is just to take a banded grassy glide from Rillaboom from full after the Rindo Berry. Everything else is in speed. We have speed, outspeed, Scarf, Sneasler, and then the rest is in special attack. So that's what we're looking for. That's our win con. And then Zamazenta is very interesting here. I just think spamming Heavy Slam and Body Press is really, really solid. I think ultimately his two answers to this are going to be the Helmet Mesprit or the Helmet Blastoise, and I have a neutral hitting stab for both of them. It's just a question of which one comes in. And honestly, what I didn't do with Zamazenta last time that I need to do with Zamazenta this time is using it as a mid-game breaker rather than a late-game cleaner. So if I'm just spamming Heavy Slam and Body Press, I'm getting chip on everything to get in range of the Dio and the Gren. So that's what we're looking at. The rest of the moves, Agility is there to bypass webs. If webs go up, then I can click Agility, and all of a sudden now I'm outspeeding, Scarf Chi-Yu again, I'm outspeeding Spectrier and everything, even after taking the web strip. Or it could just be nice even if webs don't go up, so I can click it against like Rillaboom when he's trying to sack Rillaboom off, so that like Scarf Chi-Yu doesn't revenge me, because if Scarf Chi-Yu comes in to try and revenge me, I'm pretty much just going to have to pick a sack with this team. And then we're running Protect. Protect is nice for a couple reasons. One is to stall out Trick Room turns, 2 is to get Grassy Training Recovery, 3 is just to see what move a Choice Scarfmon locks into. So if it's Scarf Sneasler to outspeed Dio, or Scarf Chi-Yu to try and outspeed this, we can see what it locks into and we can react accordingly. Dragonite is our dedicated lead. I'm finally bringing loaded dice on Dragonite. Every single time I have lost, which has been once to Q and once to Mountay, if I was just fucking loaded dice on my Dragonite, I would be fine. And I wasn't, and I got not enough Scale Shot hits in both of those situations, so we're going to try and get enough Scale Shot hits here. Scale Shot, Extreme Speed, Iron Head hits everything. It just doesn't hit the Terra Steel Mesprit, but if he is the Terra Galvantula, he might want to Terra that, and that would mean that Skill Shot will hit the Mesprit. If he does want to Terra Steel with Mesprit, I'm still getting good chip on it with Dragonite, and then that means that like Zamazenta can Body Press it later. Since this is a dedicated lead, it's considering a potential like lead Galvantula, so I want to just like, if Galvantula leads, it could Terra Ice and Terra Blast me, I won't die to that. It could just set up webs. Either way, I'm just clicking Skill Shot and like just gonna try and like set up against it. I'll click Skill Shot, I'll click Skill Shot again, I'll kill the Galvantula, and then I'll be still at full with my multi-skill intact, and Galvantula will be dead. Webs might be up, I'll have no way to remove them, but I'll be in a good position where he's supposed to react accordingly to this Dragonite, and, you know, that's good. Ultimately, Scale Shot, Extreme Speed hits everything. The only thing that it doesn't hit is Diancie, which is why we have Iron Head. And then, like I said, the Terra Steel Mesprit, but I'm okay with that. Otherwise, I'm Dragon Dancing and just trying to break early with this thing. The sequence, if Mesprit leads, is Dragon Dance into Scale Shot. The sequence, if Galvantula leads, is just a Scale Shot, Scale Shot. If Rillaboom leads, I think I Scale Shot to just try and claim as much damage as possible to get it in range of Gren. And then I click Dragon Dance. If he stays in, if he clicks U-turn, then I'll react accordingly. Originally, this was low kick to try and like get the Oko against Ursaluna when I'm +1, but Diancie scares me, and if I don't run Iron Head, then I'm just hard-walled by it. Typically, I would not bring like Iron Head in the sense that he hasn't, during the regular season, he only brought Diancie like twice, but in playoffs, he's brought it every single time, so I just want to be mindful of Diancie. Yeah, that's basically the idea. And then we have two Mons that essentially, the Ringer has done nothing, has done nothing all season. It's come twice. It's never Terra'd, despite it being a Terra captain. But it's necessary here because he has a Spectrier. So we're bringing it. We're bringing Rest Talk, Eviolite, Body Slam, Shadow Claw, and we are running Terra Ghost. So if Spectrier either doesn't come or dies, then we have another out versus Sneasler, resisting its dual stab. Shadow Claw should be 2 KOing a Spectrier with this investment. And then the rest is Spadef in order to take 2 flamethrowers from Modest Chi-Yu. That's really good as well. Otherwise, Body Slam is a really, really nice click. I mean, it's the Spectre answer. That's kind of it. It has been, in mocks, definitely the weakest member of the team, but can't really do anything about it. It's the necessary Spectre answer. It comes in, it shuts it down, it means that I don't need to sack something and give it a Grenade boost. So that's why we have Ursaring. It just sits in for Spectre. This is why Spectre is a stupid Pokemon, because it forces me to bring him on that really looks really mid against the rest of the team, and it doesn't really give me any progress, but it stops him from gaining progress, and it. Obviously, I can't really talk too much because I definitely have 2 mons that are questionably unworthy, but God, I just hate Spectre. Last mon is Quillfish. This is the set I'm most excited for. Shout out to Yurdunk for suggesting this set. Dude is a goat. He's a fucking guy who's in the DPL scene and was my teammate in this Smogon Draft League I did. This like team tour that I did. Fucking amazing guy. He's been helping me all season. Just looking at matchups, giving me ideas. But this idea in particular is he's fucking ace in the hole. He suggested this to me in week 8. And I didn't do it. I said, wow, that looks good. I don't want to like reveal that like week 8. So I'm going to hold it in the back and see if I play Mount in finals. And then I forgot about it. And then I did tests with like a boring like Rocky Helmet, like, you know, T-Wave flip turn spikes Quillfish. And it just like was getting like stunted on constantly because I just couldn't put enough offensive pressure out. And then I remembered, oh shit, Yurdunk's Sword Sands Quillfish suggestion. Let's fucking do that. And what I love about this is it can still defensively take on the Sneasler, but if the Sneasler is something like Taunt or something like Substitute to try and like bypass like Thunderwave, or like live like Flip Turn after the Grassy Terrain Seed boost, I can Swords Dance, click Liquidation, click Aqua Jet between the Rocky Helmet chip and Liquidation +2 Liquidation into +2 Jet. I'm 1v1ing the Sneasler, and now I'm set up to like KO the Chi with Aqua Jet, or like do like 80% to the Blastoise with Gunk Shot. Like there's some crazy calcs here. We're creeping his Mesprit from last time by just a little bit, but otherwise it's Liquidation, Gunk Shot, Aqua Jet. The downside to this set is that it is Shell Smash Blastoise fodder, but at the same time, if he's not White Herb, Gunk Shot's doing like 50, so hopefully it should be in range of like E-Speed after like Gunk Shot, Aqua Jet, and then E-Speed from DOS or something. So I think this set could go crazy. I think this is actually a win con. I've done a couple mocks where this thing has claimed 4 or 5 kills, and it would be really cool to close out the season with fucking Quillfish. So that's the team. That's where we're rocking out with finals. A very, very interesting team because we're running our main 4, you know, the Broken 3 plus Dragonite, who has been killing it in playoffs. So let's just say the Broken 4. But then we're running 2 mons in Ursaring and Quillfish that really haven't done anything all season. So we'll see if that'll change in finals, and maybe it'll throw them for a bit of a loop. We'll find out. But yeah, let's get into this match. Before I go, I do want to shout out a few people who have helped me with this finals game. So I'm going to shout you all out. Obviously, biggest shout out goes to Vepsis. I was very busy this week doing a lot of clubbing and a lot of making a lot of bad decisions that compromised my level of consciousness. So he did a lot of the EVs for this, which is quite rare. I like to do my own EVs, but he helped EV a lot of these mons, which was incredibly helpful. And then in terms of people who helped look at the build and gave me mocks, Phonytail, Yurdunk, like I mentioned earlier, Frandy gave me one last minute mock, which is really helpful, and then Maya/Whelmed. Thank you to all of them. And then I reached out to Zing, Genius X, also for some help, who gave me a little bit of advice, as well as Lux, although I didn't really take either of their advice. So I'll still shout you all out, even though I didn't take either of y'all's advice on some of the sets, but it still got my brain thinking. So thank you for talking to me about the matchup. I really appreciate everyone who's helped me through the course of the season, and yeah, just thank you. Okay, championship game. I have never beaten this man in my life. We'll see if today is the day. He's ready. Oh my god. Alright. Let's see what he brings. Let's see what's different from last time. We do see Diancie. That's huge because I put Iron Head on my Dragonite last minute. There's no Spectrier. Okay, that frees up my Ursaring a lot. This is an incredibly different team from last time. And I think I'm okay with that. There's no Galvantula, which means there's no webs. And there's no Spectre, which is huge. I think, like, Dragonite leads fine versus every single one of these. I have to be mindful that it's definitely going to be Terra Mesprit, and it's definitely going to be the Rocker. Maybe. I mean, Diancie could be the Rocker. Either way, Scale Shot is nice here. And with Multiscale, I can Iron Head the Diancie very safely. If Blastoise gets chipped, this Rindo Gren might actually just fucking win. So there's definitely some good win cons for me here. The Quillfish also looks shockingly good here without the Spectre. It can set up on a couple of things, mainly Sneasler, Blastoise, and Rillaboom. But good luck, have fun to my good friend. I am terrified. Grassy Gent. Okay, that's fine with me. I have two options. I can either Dragon Dance off Red, which wouldn't be a bad idea, or I can try and claim damage on this immediately. I think I'm going to try and claim damage on this immediately. But if he U-turns into Diancie, that would be a little bit annoying. I think I'm going to scale. I want to say he's not just going to go hard Diancie. You see knockoff, so loaded dice are coming off immediately, which is not great. We'll see if we get a lot anyway. So scale shot, 1, 2, 3. I get a crit on that one, that's pretty nice. Okay. So he needs to preserve this, like 100%. But this being this low is huge, because it means that it is now in range of Gren, unless he is Yachi. So I'm going to Iron Head here, I think, to cover Diancie coming in. I could also Dragon Dance. I think Dragon Dance is actually a better play. -287. So that did 62 damage. Cash Money comes in. Okay, so I definitely made the right play there. If he's not invested, I actually straight up do a lot of damage to this thing. I'm scale shotting here just to get maximum damage off. This opens up Gren as well. My girlfriend Holly is sleeping on the bed next to me, covering her ears because I'm being very annoying. He's forced to react here. Metamorphic. Is it Diancie? It's Diancie. Right. That's fine. So I can Iron Head here. Again, this is just damage. He has Babiri. So I guess it's good to break that. We have a 30% chance to flinch here, and that does a huge amount of damage regardless. Moonblast. That does kill me. Okay. Not great. But we got damage on the Rilla. And we got damage on this thing. Both of which are good things all around. I think that's my best Revenger. For sure. So I'll do that. Now, of course, the question is whether I want to Heavy Slam or if I want to Body Press. I think I want to Heavy Slam because if Blastoise comes in, I could just Body Press the next turn. Whereas if Mesprit comes in, that's a different situation. So I think I'll just Heavy Slam here. I imagine he's sacking this, though. Oh my god, could you imagine if I was Stomping Tantrum on Dragonite? That'd be huge. He switches this out. Interesting. So Diancie's at like 30. I will take this damage. It's really not a big deal. Heavy Slam's gonna do like nothing because it's defensive. It's probably gonna be Helmet. Yeah, it's fine. But like I said, this opens up Gren. Like, literally. It also opens up freaking sentences. Cool fish. Let's click Body Press here. Again, I could calc that damage, but I'm pretty sure it's just max Fizz stuff. Yeah, I mean, good. Yawn. Okay, that's fine. So part of me wants to go Quill here. Part of me also feels like I can freely go into the Ringer. The Ringer's kind of a scary play, though. I think I can just go into Quill. And if he flips, he forces Helmet. I don't think it's the biggest deal. I'm like giving a little chip on this because it's going to do like nothing. Yeah. So flip turn Yawn is the same thing as before. Gren's looking good. I just need chip on the Sneasler. Actually, there's Chi here, which is interesting. Okay. What do I want to do about this Chi? I think I want to go into Ursaring. I think it just makes a ton of sense to just go hard Ursaring here. And since, like, spec isn't here, I can also use the Terra Ghost, which is why I feel a little bit more comfortable using Quillfish just like a tad more liberally. Ruination comes off. That's an interesting set. Ruination. I think I just body slam. This is eject pack, right? That kills. That's crazy. Okay, but I don't need the boost right now. I can just go hard Gren and click Surf. I think I'm gonna go Gren and I'm gonna click Surf. Again, everything is in range right now. It's just a question of like what I do. Yeah. Metamorphic comes out, so that's the Diancie. So this is going to give me Battle Bond, which is quite nice. The issue with this is it might force out Rilla, which is good for me, but it might mean that I just have to claim the kill. Sneasler comes in. Yeah. So I'm Rindo on this. I don't see a reason not to claim the KO on this because it limits terrain turns and forces Sneasler out now. I always live this, like easily. And this always kills. Yeah. Okay. So this is dead. And now it's a question of like, does Sneasler come in now? Terra Cat, by the way. Thanks for the reminder. I really appreciate it. This is Grassy Seed. Interesting. It's not Terra Fairy though. Don't think I care. Do I Dark Pulse for a flinch? Or do I just Surf? I unironically think Dark Pulsing for a flinch isn't a bad idea. He has to Terra Steel here? Or Terra Poison? Yeah, so Dark Pulse at least forces that Terra Steel. Alright. That makes Zama even better. And if we can get a flinch here, we're good, right? Flinch. No, take it. I think that's fine. I mean, I might still outspeed this, to be completely honest with you. We just click Surf here. Nice. Alright. This isn't bad so far. We're in the lead, which is kind of crazy. Insanio style. Do I just Shuriken here? Like, surely he cannot click Sword Stance. I just don't think he can. I don't think it's possible. 1, 2, 3. Give me like more. Alright, 3's fine. U-turn. Alright. Not the end of the world. So this thing's Choice Scarf. I'm like convinced of it. Ah, I'm getting nervous. This is tight. Sword Stance Quillfish might do it. I need to land a Gunk Shot versus Blastoise, but otherwise I'm good. He's not Scarf on Chi. So I think what I have to do here is I go the Noodler, fucking ridiculous name, and I click Psycho Boost. I have to click Psycho Boost for sure. And the reason I have to do that, yeah, I need to click Psycho Boost here. That forces in Chi-Yu, which means I either click Superpower, which forces the Chopple, or he goes Sneasler, which means I can E-Speed and get it in range of Aqua Jet. Both of which are good things, all things considered. But it all starts with landing this Psycho Boost. If he doesn't give me this Blastoise, goes hard Chi-Yu right now on like a really ballsy play, then I just superpower, and it means the win con is landing a Gunk Shot. Okay, we land. That's thing number one that we needed to happen. Cool. So now if Sneasler comes in, does it kill me with U-turn? There's no more grass. Okay. So U-turn doesn't kill me. Alternatively, I can go Quillfish here, Force Chip, which then gets it in E-Speed range, which is good, right? Oh, I think I E-Speed here. I think I definitely E-Speed here for like Aqua Jet range. Yeah, that's Aqua Jet range. I might not be dead to U-turn. Oh my god. Dio? Dio, buddy? Holy shit. To reiterate, I have never in my life beaten this man before. It is possible that today is the day. I click Superpower here. How much damage does Quillfish do with Aqua Jet to the Chi-Yu? That's the other question. I think the calc says it's something like 40%. Yeah, it's 40 to 50. But even the worst case scenario is if Flame Charge comes off here. So I really have to win this. Let me put it that way. He switches out. Okay. But this is good for me, I'm pretty sure. Because what it essentially means is I'm killing myself to Life Orb, which means that he can't Flame Charge. Right? Maybe? Mueller's dead. Okay. Well, now we're looking at Zama. And Zama Body Press. That's the next thing we're looking at here. It's not choppable. Do we win? We won! Oh my god! No fucking way. It just said you did. Huh? Holy shit. Oh, I've been trying to beat this man for 2.5 years. Babe, I won. She's asleep. Oh my god. Holy heck. I'm in like such disbelief right now. I will still stand behind it. He's the greatest player in this metagame, and I finally got a win on him when it mattered most. Jesus. Everything went perfectly. Like, nothing went wrong. Everything, there was no RNG, like, everything just worked. The team build just worked. And I was down 6-4 at the start, and I brought it back. I just won PPL. I just won the entire thing. That's crazy. Holy shit. Thank you to everyone who helped me and is watching the videos and has just watched this whole run, and to win, and not just win the whole thing, but to win against the player who never lost a game all season, and also, in my opinion, is the best player in the entire Wi-Fi format, and is someone who's an amazing friend. Like, it's not just a championship, but it's getting the championship in like the best possible way. And I don't think I've ever had that before in Draft League, so this is a first for me. It's been a while since I've won an entire league. Cool. Thank you to Chase for dropping Zamazenta. That helped. Wow. And Quillfish didn't even have to come out. I mean, it came out a little bit, but Sword Stance Quillfish never needed to click the button. I was playing around Chopple the whole time, and he just wasn't. Wow. Go give Bounty some love, and yeah. Thanks, everyone. Cool.